Tally-ho everybody, this is Heap Games, Adam speaking, and we're here to do some more German Robot Wars. This is Heat B, and I've been told it gets better here. I ruddy hecking hope so. That one was knocked out last time quite decisively. I remember one of them qualified that didn't actually really work throughout the competition. Master of Disaster, Moderator Jürgen. What have you got for us today, Jürgen Turgen? You'd have thought if they were made in Germany, they might actually work. Then again, my car's a BMW, and it won't stop breaking down. In fact, it's in the garage, and I can't get it out. So actually, it makes sense that these robots are breaking down without even a moment of anything happening. The house robot Üblings have all these excellent properties, and theirs are ours. Right, we know who this are. Let's get on with it. The monstrous, the incredible 2, Psycho, and the terrible brown Sacco. Nobody knows was Mr. Brown, with his fangs impressions of the 4. And if this hammer beats, tear open continental plates and the earth away. Well, that's a skill I didn't know he had. Fair play, that's pretty good roboteering if that's the case. So who do we have? Tsunami, Absolute Krankhaft, Black Hole, Deldog, Not Perfect, and Hydrotech. So it's the robots that I saw at the end of last episode and thought they're entering some sort of mayhem melee thing. Hopefully they're better than the robots from last time. Tsunami. I recognise the name, I'm not sure if it might be the same robot I'm thinking of. If I remember correctly, it might have been alright, but I can't remember correctly. This flap here can one completely depends now, is quite often clear at the end loads with CO2 force. That's some brilliant descriptions. 200 kilo. I mean, it looks like it could. It looks competently made. It says you can throw him out of the arena. Right. We'll hold him to that. Absolute Krankhaft. Apparently it's Dutch. It looks exactly the same as Tsunami. What is he wearing? I wish I knew what they were saying. Unfortunately, I've got no understanding of the German language. Black Hole. 3,000 euros? About 50 quid, isn't it? Again, it looks relatively competently built. I'm not sure about that weaponry though. It looks pretty. I mean, we've seen similar designs before. I'm not sure if it's ever been particularly effective. Could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want to see some destruction here. Right, here we go. It looks fast, which is more than could be said for any of the previous robots. Quickly take a look at his technical data. That actually made sense. Yeah, flipper. Selbstaufrichtung. Hockdrucktank. I imagine that first one means it's good at self-righting. Absolute Krankhaft. Looks like it has a turning circle of about 15 meters. But it's speedy. It came out. I mean, it actually moved into the ring. So that puts it head and shoulders above everything we see in the last episode. Maybe the people commenting were right, saying that this episode was actually filled with semi-competent robots. It's worrying that we didn't see this one actually drive into the ring. Its strength is Waffen. Waffen. I imagine that means weapon. Waffen is weapon. I shall stand by to the best of my abilities.
3, 2, 1.
Right, come on then, let's see what these lot can do. I mean, that's more than we saw in the entire last episode. That's more than everything from last episode. And I'm excited to see more of this. I mean, it's a shame that Crankcraft can't appear to turn itself back over. Unless Tsunami can do something. Yes! Yes! Action! Even Black Hole with its rather suspect weaponry actually looks like it looks aggressive. It looks like it can cause some damage. I think Crankcraft is out of this one. Tsunami looks impressive. Let's be fair, the winner of this heat is it's already won the grand final. Let's be perfectly honest. Black Hole contributors might prescribe run with 155 kilometers. It gets damn tight. It does get damn tight. I think this one's done. But I tell you what, this battle here is worth 10,000 of the battles from the last episode. A bit of disappointment. I mean, yeah. But at the end of the day, Crankcraft would have probably won the last heat because it moved. Okay then. Smile on my face so far. That's the thing you don't get in BattleBots, isn't it? You've got house robots that will just tear something apart. It's like something falling into a pit of cobras or something. You not only have you lost, but you get a bit of torment as well. And it's good. I like it. That's why I like Robot Wars. It's total banter. So the two winners are stuck. Very good fight delivered. These are very aggressive and very tough. Gone in compliments and applause for Tsunami and Black Hole in the next round. I understood most of that. So yeah, again, we're doing better than this episode than we did the last. Unfortunately, you have retired. Very big applause curve, animal friends allowed. Hasn't all the robot combat videos been done for animal cruelty? Why are we bringing that up again? Right, Deldog not perfect and... This is Deldog. It's round. Start, I suppose. The idea is following the rings built with... So the spikes face vertical on a horizontal spinner. Now this is more like it. I like this. This is my favourite. Not perfect. It's nice to have humility in Roboteers. What on earth is that kid wearing? What is he wearing? He's come from the auditions for Pirates of the Caribbean. Is it just me or has that girl got a Robot Wars tattoo on her hand? You probably can't see it from the quality, but on big screen, that girl's got a Robot Wars tattoo on the back of her hand. I want one of those. Hydrotech. Apparently they're Swiss. Another flipper. It looks more like a lifter, actually. I like the look of it. It looks like the sort of robot that won't work. I don't know, I've just got that. It's just... I look at that and I think that looks like one of the typical Robot Wars competitors that just works for about 10 seconds and then breaks down. I could be wrong. I could always be wrong. It's got a hammer as well. Pretty typical Robot Wars combination of lifter and hammer. Question for the audience, when has that ever worked? Hammer flipper combination. I know it worked once with Behemoth putting Stinger into the pit. But apart from that, has a hammer and a flipper ever worked in combination? at
Eine
the
wirklich schweißtreibende Arbeit, diesen Robot zu bauen.
Yeah, Hammer and
Mit
Lifter.
Hammer und Lifter sicherlich
Panzerling.
optimal bewaffnet, aber mit Aluminium
Don't know
denkbar
what that
schwach gepanzert.
Weak armoured, apparently.
Aus Homburg im Saarland.
Yeah, this is literally a horizontal full-body spinner, and the weapons on the spinner are pointing up and down. Beziehungsweise fahrbar. Getting traction, so it lacks traction. How is that going to work? Oh. Now, I saw this in the last episode, and I saw it on the front. It's got a spinner. It's got a lawnmower blade, but it's it's below the surface of the armor of the robot. How is that going to affect anything? Unless there's some other tactic to this robot, I can't see what that thing's going to do. Still, it's not perfect, and because it's not perfect, it's my favourite.
Es scheint Verzögerungen zu geben. Was ist da los? Deldog wurde an die Bande gefahren. Deldogs Waffe scheint zu klemmen. Ganz offensichtlich ist die Arretierung der Waffe noch an Bord. Ja, so kann's gehen.
What's happening here?
Hier ist Derek Foxwell bei der Sache, der Cheftechniker von Robot Wars persönlich. Scheint alles ein bisschen tricky zu sein bei Deldog.
Something wrong with the robot,
Der
apparently.
der Teamkapitän ist bereits dazu.
They were able to drive it to the side to fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Aber das Ding will sich nicht lösen lassen. Derek Foxwell schaut dem Teamchef von Deldog skeptisch über die Schulter, aber jetzt wurde ja auch langsam Zeit. Löst sich das Teil, alles klar, es kann losgehen. Nun
I've never seen that before in Robot Wars. I didn't understand what they were saying to find out what was wrong with it. So Matilda's ready. We've seen a lot of Matilda and Sir Killock in these German episodes. So I'm intrigued now, firstly for what Not Perfect does, and secondly for, well, let's go off the pit already, secondly for what the spinning one does. The ring has been slightly damaged. What's happening with this thing? Firstly, its weapon is the wrong way around, and, well, there it goes, I suppose. I'm so totally confused. Really, I am. At least it means my favourite robot is going to go through. But what's wrong with this thing? If you know, put it in the comments below, because I'm very confused. If you understand Deutschsprachen. Shut up, phone. So we've got those were two really quick battles. I mean, they've been more entertaining than the last ones, but very short. Right, so we haven't actually seen much of Hydrotech and Not Perfect, so they're still an unknown quantity. But I think that Tsunami, out of the four we've seen, probably the most likely to go through. Of course, we're going to get two through. Don't know which one's going to go through. How are we going to line up for the next battles then? Because we've lost Deldog, which has just confused me to no end. I don't even know what happened there. Absolute crank-ass gone. Black Hole versus Hydrotech, Tsunami versus Not Perfect. I mean, it could be quite entertaining. I'm looking forward to that. Have we got any filler? Because we've had two very short fights. Something about a World Cup. Something about World Championships. Oh! Chaos 2. I imagine it's going to be against a German competitor. Pneumatic Flipper. Ultimate Waff. Optimum Weaponry. All I know is Chaos 2 is a very competent robot. Very, very competent. Manta. It's a US machine. Now I saw ESC do a segment on Mastiff as a pretty awful flipper, and it's interesting that I'm now seeing it fight. I didn't expect to see it in this episode. Yes, Ansgar. Yes! It's got a different weapon this time. But I don't think it's going to win, you know. I don't think it's going to win. I'm more interested to see how Mastiff does, considering they, on ESC, they said it was one of the worst flippers ever. And I want to see it in action. Come on, Ansgar, do it for Deutschland. It's already under the cosh. And there goes Mastiff. Oh, it's self-right itself. I suppose that's a positive. Chaos 2 is surely going to win this. I think Chaos 2 helped itself right a bit there. What is that weapon on Ansgar? It looks like it's a spike that's going like that, but it's not even straight. It is literally going like that. Come on, Mastiff. What are you doing? Ansgar just looks like the most awkward Series 2 Robot Wars competitor. Yeah! Brilliant driving, George. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now there goes Mastiff as well. So Ansgar's surely going to win this. Look at that weapon, it's pathetic. It's a little tiddler, isn't it? I think the only reason the Germans are broadcasting this is because their robot didn't come absolute dead last. Chaos 2 was... That's probably why they're showing it, because the British robot went out first. Ansgar. About as reliable as its revenge. Look at that weapon. So no comment on that fight, just looking back at the main heat. All weakness has weakness. This is like Neil deGrasse Tyson shit. This is all weaknesses have weakness. Oh, they're right. I reckon. Well, Black Hole's invertible. The Hydrotech lifter looks like it was made out of Meccano. And that the weaponry on Black Hole doesn't actually look that bad. It looks like it could cause a few scratches. So I'm going to go for Black Hole for this one. I don't think... Again, I still think Hydrotech looks like it's gonna break down at some point. Black Hole sort of reminds me of robots like... Oh, what was it? Dark Destroyer. That robot that had the little flangey bits on the side, like little mandibles that were... I mean, that's the sort of stuff I make on Robot Arena 2. I mean, I don't deliberately make the worst and nonsensical weapons, well I do. I do deliberately do that. But it is the sort of stuff I'd make on Robot Arena 2, just the daftest, most useless... But original! More original than the content I'm currently creating on this channel, mind you. We've got Mr. Psycho and Schultz in the arena, which we haven't seen much of before. Yeah, I've got to go for Black Hole on this one. And again, Hydrotech isn't slow. Why is it using that what is it doing with its weaponry? What is it doing? Sort of nincompoopery is this? The hammer, they've put the hammer on the wrong way around. Oh no, it is the right way around, it's just descended. I thought they'd put it... Okay, but never mind me. You can hear Black Hole's weaponry. I mean, it's not that effective. It's clearly enough to bury itself in the tin foil that is Hydrotech's armour. And then Meccano lifter is bent to shit. I don't think Black Hole even hit the flipper. I think just the fact that it was driving against air resistance broke the lifter. What did I tell you? 10 seconds once the battle started and Hydrotech would just break. Nothing would happen to it, it would just break. praise me for my my wisdom. The robot destroyed by air resistance. My prediction came true, and I'm incredibly proud of myself. Go on, get the hammer down. Go on, go on. Come on! Don't leave us hanging. Come, just hit the bloody thing. Yeah! Get your psycho out for the lads. The thing's just falling apart now. I'm pretty sure it was all just glued together. And they weren't satisfied with just using the Meccano kit. They had to use super glue as well. And now it's going in the pit. See you later, Hydrotech. Good knowing you. I mean, Mr. Psycho says Sean is always drunk. I'm inclined to believe him. We have one loser, and that's Mortgage. Mortgage is the loser. I love these auto translations. I could watch these all day. I believe that at the beginning or the end, that's how we came to say yes. Something with the machine broken and died suddenly, just as your humble Prime Minister predicted. I mean, it's not hard to predict considering the track record of German robots so far. 50-50 the time, it is bound to just break down itself. So it wasn't like a world-breaking prediction. But Black Hole, I think are worthy. I think they'd be better than the two we saw progress on the last team. But we've got one more battle to go, and that's between Tsunami and Not Perfect. And I want Not Perfect to win, but it's not, let's be honest. I mean, we didn't see it do anything in the last battle. Maybe it'll pull something out of the bag, I don't know. Encounter Tsunami the Balls against Almost Perfect, place expires. What's this? Behind the scenes. Oh, this is them building the Meccano set. See, nothing actually did that. It just sort of, unless they cut a bit out, it just sort of cut away from it looking normal, and then suddenly it's like the girl from the Ring came and attacked it 7 days ago. It watched the Ring, and then out of nowhere, it just Not Perfect, which has the most bizarre looking weapon I think I've ever seen. Against the even more bizarre weapon where they didn't even place the spikes on the spinner the right way around. That's not how tsunamis work. Foolish Germans. A tsunami is a long upswell of water. You don't really get the big waves. It is just a big of water over miles. Tsunamis are, I mean, if you're ever interested in that sort of thing, tsunamis are pretty interesting to look up because it's just interesting how they work. It's literally just a long stretch of water that's gone like that. So here's Tsunami. Why have you entered the robot upside down? I've never seen that before. They've put, oh. There must be some tactic to this. You're against a flipper. Why have they put their robot upside down? How did they not tell when they were putting it into the arena? Hold on, that thing's upside down. There's got to be some tactic involved in this. Are they thinking they're just going to get immediately flipped? Well, I suppose they were. They've got the spinning blade, and I think it is actually spinning, so that is definitely their weapon. But why did they start upside down? Oh no, I think they might have actually removed their weapon. There are bits falling off of it. You know, actually, I don't think it matters. Look at the size difference of these robots. The weapon stopped working. Oh no, it's working again. And it's upside down. At least it's invertible, but still. What was the point of entering upside down? You've got to wonder what the tactic for Not Perfect is now, because its weapon is useless. It's a very slow robot. And Tsunami is clearly the more dangerous and stylish robot. What's it got? Unless Tsunami drives itself into the pit, which is not, you know, beyond reason. But look how slow this thing is. Still better than anything from the last episode, though. I mean, it's still running and it's been, what, at least 2 minutes? I just don't understand the tactics of this robot. I don't get the point of it. Now it's back on its front. Dead Metal almost just ran it into the pit. I'm not even sure of the legality of that move. Its weapon is buried in itself. It has literally damaged itself with its weapon. What? Who built this thing? It's falling to pieces. At least it moves a bit quicker. I want Not Perfect to put Tsunami in the pit. I mean, to be fair, it's still going. It's still showing some aggression, and fair play to it. Tsunami appears to be slowing down. Go on. Go on, push it in the pit. Where is the pit? Oh, it's not there. Go on, Not Perfect. It's starting to really go for it now. I think Tsunami's running out of juice here. I mean, Tsunami has won, but fair play to Not Perfect. It wasn't a perfect performance, but a credible performance. I like how they still have the British judges for the German show. Well, let's look at it this way. Even though Tsunami can't damage, it still was the less damaged at the end. There were bits falling off of Not Perfect. The weapon attacked itself. It attacked itself with its weapon. It got a load of flips in, and for most of the battle it was more aggressive. At the end, Not Perfect was more aggressive and more controlled. But I think Tsunami's got this, surely. And we'll go through to the next round. Yeah, thought so. Team Tsunami. But that was all right. It was it looked like it was going to be over in a matter of a minute or so, but you know, Not Perfect kept going, and that was quite entertaining. And I appreciate that. The weapon was bloody useless. No, I enjoyed that. So that was German Robot Wars Heat B. And I've got to say, the commenters were correct in saying that it was much better than Heat A. The robots actually worked for the most part. There were a couple of odd moments. For one thing, Not Perfect entering their robot upside down for no apparent reason that I know of. And Del Dog putting a weapon on its robot with the spikes the wrong way around. They never. I didn't understand the explanation for why they needed repairs after they entered the ring. Answers in the comments below if you know. But apart from that, the robots all seem to work to a certain extent, and there were a couple of relatively entertaining battles. I'd say this is sort of like Series 3 level UK Robot Wars. Not too bad, pretty entertaining, some unusual designs, and for as much as I criticise things like Not Perfect's weapon, I love seeing weird designs, even if they are completely useless, so big thumbs up from me there. Of course, the battles could have been more entertaining, and so I'm going to give this episode a 6 out of 10, but I'm relatively satisfied, and I'm looking forward to the grand final and what else is to come. I've heard that there are Dutch Robot Wars competitions. If you want to see me do more of these, then please send foreign Robot Wars competitions, or, you know, like the Dutch version of Robot Wars, or, I don't know, the Nigerian version, or wherever. Because I'm interested in doing more of these episodes on them. Because it gets views. But I also enjoy doing it. And it's good to see Robot Wars episodes that I've never actually seen before. Because, I mean, a lot of Robot Wars I haven't seen for years and years, but there are still some that I've never seen. But I've enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy it too. It's been a Heap of Games. I'm speaking, looking forward to the German Robot Wars final. Ta-ra, toodle pip, toodaloo, and cheerio. See you later.